this. Okay, so I want to make sure that people's expectations are set appropriately, because expectations are a really big deal here. A lot of times people say in the evals, which you're going to need to fill out because my job depends on it, and you're going to say stuff like, totally didn't meet my expectations, which is great, except I don't know what your expectations are. So what I'm going to do here is not a typical kind of Hanselman talk. So typically it would be like slide, slide, joke, code, slide, joke, joke, picture of a cat, slide, code, code, joke, demo, big finish, and jazz hands. That would be a typical Hanselman talk. So I'm trying this a little different. I'm taking a risk here. So when you score this as an eval, remember that there's a difficulty multiplier. So this turns out to be a 2.5 quality talk, 2x difficulty. If I stick the landing, superstar, I expect that you score me appropriately. There are no slides. I thought I was doing that to kind of be like, like a revolutionary, kind of a Che kind of a thing. But in fact, I didn't have time to do any slides, and I didn't like them keep asking me for the slides. So there are no slides, so don't ask me when the slides are going to be here. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to build nerddinner.com. I don't know if I'm going to be able to build it in 75 minutes. So I've got a couple of techniques that I'm going to use to make it look like I'm really building it in 75 minutes. But the goal is this. All right, so this is kind of a mock-up. This is my sketch flow kind of thing of what this will look like. So there'll be kind of a map there, and there'll be like a logo and some find a dinner, host a dinner navigation, and then there'll be like popular dinners on the side. The idea here is that nerds want to eat dinner, but they don't want to interact with other humans. They don't typically want to make reservations or call ahead. So this is a way of allowing nerds to be social while removing the social aspect of that. This also works for dysfunctional family dinners and friends that you don't want to friend you on Facebook dinners. So anytime you want to get together with people that you don't really want to get together with, this is going to be the portal for that. This is my Web 2.5 idea. Now, before I do that, this is the same thing that you would find in the book that Rob Connery and Phil and the Goo and I are kind of spreading the word about. I would encourage you to please come up and get some of these limited edition tiny cards that have got the link on the back to the first 185 pages of the book that we're giving away free, Creative Commons. You may have seen this particular book cover here with the foreheads. Then there's the extended forehead edition. I'm actually going to be selling banner ad space on my forehead, so that's going to be a way for me to make a little money. And then I just put my 7th grade picture there, just because I wanted you to know I've come a long way. That's pretty scary. That is, in fact, a piece of hair that is off the side of my head there. That still does that, in fact. But now I know about gel, which is good. Okay. So let's make that nerd dinner thing. So we'll go File, New, Project. And the way that I'm going to work this is that it's going to be kind of like Julia Childs in cooking. You know how she'll get like a pie and she's like, it's mostly ready. And then she'll put the pie, in the oven. And then she's got like, hey, I'm going to cook a pie now.
There's a little bit of chocolate on the edge there.
We're going to take the pie and stick it in the oven.
Into the oven?
And then she'll stick it in the oven, and then she'll open it up. Oh, there's a pie done. Yeah, the boring stuff, all that cooking part. We skipped that part. So she's like, hey, oh, crap, there's a pie there. Don't show them that. Yeah. So
a one that's going to come out.
And this one's already done.
Several.
So, yay, you just skipped the boring part.
I just want you to see
so
everything.
I want to do that exact same thing with MVC, so that you won't have to watch me write too many link queries all day long. So that's the goal of this particular talk. So we hit File, New, and this does assume, from an expectations perspective, that you do have some understanding about how MVC works. I mean, if you are here and you've never done an MVC, bear with me. I may go a little fast and assume a couple of things about you understanding MVC, but read the book. There's a tutorial that walks step by step by step in exquisite Gaussian detail about all of the details. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Yes, Create a Unit Test Project and hit OK. Bring up our MVC application 1 here, and I get my app and my tests sitting down at the bottom. Now, I'm going to need some data. So what I've done, rather than having you guys watch me mess around with the tables. I'm just going to bring in a little database here, and I'll drop it in. I'll show you what it is so you don't feel like I'm cheating you. We're going to open up our Nerd Dinner database. It's a really simple database because right now we just want dinners and then RSVPs for dinners. It's pretty straightforward. And then for users and stuff, we're just going to use the built-in membership. So we've instrumented the database automatically for membership. So membership kind of happens for free. And then let's right-click in here and we'll say Add New Item. Oops. Say Add New Item. And we'll bring up this very scary dialog. Are there really enough things in here, do you think? And in no order, which is also nice. And I'll pick Link to SQL because it's awesome and it's not dead, and you should be excited about that. And I'm going to hit Nerd Dinner and then hit Add. So I'm getting a couple references added automatically. Data.link showed up, and some different things got instantly added to my references. That's why they opened that up. When I added that DBML file, the references folder opened up to let me know that some things had added. And now I've got this Nerd Dinner DBML. From here, I can open up this Server Explorer, and I can drag this stuff over. Boom. And hey, it's not Northwind, so let's feel good about that. Yeah. Okay, so now I take the Northwind database, and I bring... Oh, that would be sweet, though, wouldn't it? Okay, now one of the things that's significant about this is that it's incredibly simple, but there's some pretty sophisticated stuff, too, that I'm going to show you. First, we just got dinners, and then there's a one-to-many relationship with RSVPs. But I want to be able to do some latitude and longitude work, so I've put in a couple of floats, latitude and longitude. And I want to be able to do like nearest dinners. I want to say find the dinners that are nearest this location. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, because when thousands of nerds flood this location looking to eat, how will I find them that stuff? So what we did is we used some stuff that Rob Connery came up with. And these are scalar functions and table value functions. And these are kind of crazy. And they're crazy because they use high school math, which I know that a lot of programmers are not familiar with. So I'm going to take a moment to explain how sine and cosine work. I thought that was funny. You guys know you don't know how sine and cosine works. And this is kind of cool. This is some SQL in a table value function that goes and it knows the Earth's radius in kilometers there, because I figured that wouldn't change. So I felt that as a magic number, that was okay, right? The Earth could swell, and then I would just kind of go, oh, okay, well, the Earth swelled. So cool. This will take a latitude and longitude and another latitude and longitude and give you the distance between them, okay? That's being done in SQL. This is the kind of thing that you could do in C#, but I figured, why not let the database do the work, especially if there are thousands of dinners. And then I've got this nearest dinners, which is pretty cool. It makes a nice clean join and then uses that other function. It says, give me all the dinners between these, and then I think it's between 100 kilometers. What's cool about this, though, and why I'm showing it to you, is that now I can grab these two functions and I can drag them into Link to SQL, and then they just appear up here. So then now they're methods that I can use in my link queries later. So that's going to make mapping different, and that's on Rob Connery's blog. I think he searched for like geospatial data or something like that. So that was easy. That was a problem that was solved by a search. So I've got my DBML, and let's say we're going to have to show some dinners. So I'll say add controller, and you'll notice, of course, that with MVC you've got some instrumentation. So the controller stuff has been added by the installation of MVC, and I'll say I want dinners controller, and I'm going to click here, add action methods, because I want to get a little bit of free code generation to save some time here. And I got my dinners controller with some just basic index, details, create, post, and all they do is return default views. But of course, I don't have any views yet. We can go over here to our views menu and say, I haven't got any dinner views. So I'm thinking about the controller first. I'm thinking about the logic. I want to be able to list dinners. I want to be able to look at dinner details to start with, and then maybe I want to look for like dinners nearby or popular dinners like that. But I've got this DBML file, and I've got the associated generated code for it that lives in here. And that's given me my object, my dinner object, and things like that. If I open that up, we can see I've got RSVPs, I've got dinners, those two methods that we had before, nearest dinners and dinner distance between, those are in there. And this could be done in nhibernate, or this could be done in Entity Framework. The cool thing about MVC is that when you go File New and you look in the Models folder, the Models folder is empty, because it doesn't make any dogmatic decisions about that kind of thing. And I'll just drag them in